Professor Ardon. Today we're going to talk about your family. So can you restate your full name for me again?
Sí. Ramiro Heriberto Ardón Maradiaga.
And then is there like a hyphen between Ardon and
Maradiaga.
Maradiaga?
No. There are
No?
two full first names. First name, second name, last name from my dad, last name from my mom. And then Heriberto is funny that the name in English existed like the Herbert.
Mm. Oh, interesting. Okay. And then your parents' names are
Okay, so nombre de mi papá. Okay, so my dad's name, it was backwards. He started with Heriberto Ramiro. Okay. Ardon, which was an interesting situation. My grandma used to tell me the story about her not wanting to marry my grandpa because they thought they might be relatives because they had the same last name.
And
So
yeah, that would be a problem.
that would be a problem. My dad was Ardon. Heriberto Ramiro Ardon. And then it could have been, there was no proving that could have been they were a long distance relatives. Because at that time, there were no roads, there were no vehicles. They was by horses that they go to the little communities. That would be what? During the First World War I? Yeah. And like 1915, anything but 1910, 1920. So cars in Honduras, there was not a thing at that time. They might have been. I don't know all the history. So to go from White House to Tyler and a horse, it'd take a few hours. It would take a few hours. But let's say from here to, I don't know, Nacogdoches. So that was a long distance. So somebody who lived in Nacogdoches, somebody who lived in Tyler, and there was Ardon over there and Ardon over here, they probably thought, okay, no, it's a different Ardon,
But they could be like fourth or fifth
could
cousins
have been,
or something.
because now that we know now that roads that are paved to go from my little town where my grandpa supposedly grew up to where my grandma was, it's a 10, 15 minutes. Right.
They could have been related.
It could have been. So now we speculate like maybe they were somehow related. But yeah, more than likely they were like, long distance cousin. I don't know, third remove, fourth.
Not that big of a problem, but still something you should try to avoid.
But they were not for cousins. For sure they were not for cousins because they would know each other. And that's what she would say to us,
And then your mother's name was?
So my mom's name was Orbelina Maradiaga.
See. And then your grandparents on your father's side, do you know their names?
Yes. And those, yeah, because I grew up with them. I grew up with both set of grandparents. So my dad's dad was Santos Pablo Ardon. Okay.
And your paternal grandmother?
Carmela Ardon.
And then do you know either of their parents' names?
No, from my grandma, we call her Carmen. I don't know why, but grandpa called her Carmela. Maybe she was Carmen, but my grandpa, my dad's dad, said Carmela, but we call it Grandma Carmen. I don't know, for some reason we went with Carmen, but Carmela I think was her full name. I don't know anything her telling grandpa, but I know from my dad, my grandpa Santos, his dad was Marcial, but he has a different last name. It was Castellanos. Because my grandpa, my great grandpa, had my dad's dad, my grandpa, with a different lady, and he was not married to that lady. So that's why my grandpa had Ardon instead of Castellanos. He was not married to. So great grandpa Marcial Castellanos he lived in Santa Maria, in the little village where I was born and went to school.
Mm-hmm.
But I had no recollection of meeting him. My mom and my dad used to tell stories about Grandpa Marcial, great Grandpa Marcial, that he was a storyteller and he would tell hyperboles, huge hyperboles. And supposedly he was a very like a comedian type. And then my dad took after Grandpa Marcial. My dad will also um, tell hyperboles, basically lies, made up stories, made a
And then,
story. Sorry
and so,
that
so you don't know your great grandmother's name from Santos?
no, from neither one of them, my great grandparents, I don't remember they mentioned it. My grandpa, my great grandpa Marcial, that lived in Santa Maria. Then my dad would mention the grandma, but no. By then
Okay.
it was just they were dead.
Mhm. So it was the only one of your 8 great grandparents that you know was Marcial?
Marcial from my
Okay.
dad's. I don't remember my dad's grandpa that
Okay.
he lived there, and my mom said that when I was born, he was still alive, but I never met him.
Yeah. So
But
every human on Earth has 8 great grandparents, and so out of those 8, you only knew Marcial. Like that's the only one you know the name of.
or the great grandparents, but then the others I know them.
Okay. So on your mom's side, what were her parents' names?
Okay, so in my mom's mom side, her dad was Eusebio Cáceres.
Mm-hmm.
And then for my mom's mom was Leonarda Maradiaga. And it's interesting. My grandpa, for my mom's parents, they never married. So that's why my mom was always had my grandmother's last name.
Mm. And then,
So
do you know the
they
names of Eusebio or Leonardo's parents?
no, only grandpa's parents. My grandma Leonarda, her parents, I guess they died when she was still a teenager. We had no idea who they were. But for my grandpa, for my mom's dad, we grew up with them. They were fun. They were fun, Const- Constante, like Constantine, the old Constantine, the emperor,
Okay. And then,
and then Cáceres.
okay, Caceres. And then,
Okay.
do you know Eusebio's mother? Or was that the mother?
Yeah, no, my great grandma was Claudina. Claudina, but what was her last name? Claudina Cáceres. So she was married to my Papita Constante, my grandpa Constante Cáceres. Claudina, man, I never learned her last name.
Her maiden name?
Yeah, I never learned her maiden name. They never learned it because they were a family that the first came, some of the first settlers in Santa Maria. They they were not rich, but they were not poor. They have plenty land and plenty animals, and everybody referred to that family as Los Cáceres. Los Cáceres. So I never learned my great grandma last name. I always knew her as Grandma uh, uh, Handa as a nickname, but Claudina was her first name. Claudina, but we call her Canda, so we just refer to Grandma Candas. And now that you're asking me for the last name, I never learned her last name, maiden name, because most people refer to that family as Los Cáceres. They have many um, acres of land, good land, where they planted corn and beans and they have cattle. Uh, and I never, no, but I remember her vividly because when I told you that I first came, when my dad sent me back to the little village in Santa Maria to finish my fifth and sixth grade, my grandma, Canda, Mamita Canda, She was still alive, and she died at 102 years old.
Wow.
I know. I thought that's why we thought we were convinced that my mother, that a year ago passed away, she was picking those genes from those, because many of them, except for my grandpa, my mom's dad, he died at 73, and it's in between 73 and 75. But he was, sometimes he would drink and he smoked, so he didn't take care of himself. But
Which
my
one was that?
grandpa, for his parents, my mom's dad, his parents, grandpa,
Eusebio? So
yeah,
he's like,
Eusebio, he died when he was like 73, 75. And it was because he was not really you know, he
he wasn't
was,
a healthy person.
he was not a healthy person. He would drink and smoke. And for about his parents, Constante and Claudina, Constante died at 95, and the wife died at 102. I
So they lived
remember her. I was
very
already
long lives.
18, very old. I was already 18. That was my first year. She died in 1982, the first year that I went to started my high school. I remember
Wow.
being in the funeral, and
And so
she died.
he died in 1975 then, Constante?
Constante died anything between 75 and 1980, because I remember I was already out of school. My dad had put us out of school, and then we came to the village. That's what we used to come and tell you, that to get the groceries. So
Hmm.
we were there, and I remember seeing him in agony, and they were saying, "Oh yeah, he's 95. He just turned 95, and he would die." So I think I was like maybe 30. I would say he died in 1977. My great grandpa Constante.
Hmm.
I don't remember the year exact, but it was in that range, because when I came to finish fifth and sixth grade, grandma Claudina, they have an incident. The house fell. There was a storm one day, and the house was an old house, and then part of the beams that are across it broke, and
Hmm.
then the roof came. That one of the pieces of wood came through the bed of one of them. Because they had daughters that live with them. Two of the daughters, my great aunts, live with them with grandma. It was three of them and a granddaughter, four. And one of them, I don't know how that person survived. One of the pieces of the wood, that when the roof collapsed, went through the bed next to her,
She got
and
very lucky.
she was already lucky. And by then they were already in the 90. Grandma was 100. 100, yeah. They rebuilt that house, and she moved back to the new house they rebuilt. And then in a few months, she died. She died. Um, so yeah, great, but Maya dies something in that range of 76, 77, 1976, 1979, but I don't remember the exact year.
Okay. And then do you did you know any of your grandparents' siblings, Santos, Carmela, Eusebio, or Leonardo? Did they have any siblings, do you know?
From okay, so those that I tell you that they survived with my grandma Claudina. So two sisters were living with grandma at that time. So Delfina was still alive. She survived that house falling, the roof of the house collapsed. So Delfina Cáceres, and Maura, and like Maurice, in English the word Maurice,
Hmm.
but in a women it's Maura,
Hmm.
and in men it's Mauro. So
Hmm.
Tia Maura was still alive, and Tia Delfina.
And they lived
And
with
yeah,
Claudina because they were her
yeah,
daughters.
right. They were daughters. My grandpa was alive over my mom's dad, but he was not living there in that house. He was living, I don't even remember where he was
And
at
then
that time.
do you know if any of your other grandparents had siblings, Santos, Carmela, or
Okay, now
Leonardo?
my Grandpa Santos, I met two of his siblings. No, I met three. I met Emilio, Emilio, and the Emilio Castellanos, because, have a different last name, because, that was from my great grandpa, Marcial. Emilio Castellanos, and then, I met Emilio Castellanos, Blas Castellanos, so Blas, Emilio, and Antonia Castellanos. Like Antonio, like you, Antonio, and her name Antonia. Tia Tonya, she died just a couple of years ago. Also close to 100. Tia Tonya, I went to visit her about 5 years ago. I have pictures with that old lady. Tia Antonia, she died close to 100, but I don't remember the exact. So those were my grandpa's brothers. So Emilio, Blas, Antonia, and that's it. 3 of the siblings. Now from Abuela Carmen, no, I did not meet any of no siblings. I don't remember. I don't have any recollection of ever meeting a great aunt or uncle
on her side. And
on her
then
side.
Leonardo, did she have any?
Now Leonarda neither. And Abuela Leonarda,
She just didn't have siblings. She was an only child.
he might have. I'm
But
sure
but you just didn't meet them.
no, never met them. Don't have recollection of my grandma Leonarda talking about siblings. I'm sure of my mom mentioning. I think she definitely had siblings, but we never met them.
Okay.
Because both of them, my both grandparents, they migrated to that little village of Santa Maria from another community, but nobody migrated with them. With my dad's parents, especially my dad's dad, 2 of his siblings, or 3 of the siblings. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. So great grandpa Marcial, had a child named Marcial, and Tio Marcial, Uncle Marcial, I met him. So we're back to Abuelo Santos. I met Emilio, Blas, Marcial, and Tia Antonia. And all of those 3, Emilio and Marcial and Blas, they lived in that Santa Maria village.
Mm. And then
That's what I did.
All 4 of those were Castellanos because he
Castellanos.
with his wife.
Yeah, all 4 were Castellanos, because my great grandpa then had married that.
Yeah, but he cheated on her and had Santos.
Right. But it's the same thing. Like I told you that we are 12, and my oldest brother Manuel, he's
They
from
were
a
close. It
different.
wasn't a problem.
It's a different, and then he grew up with us, but he's not Ardon. He is Sanchez, because my dad didn't marry, but had that child before he married mom. It's the same thing with my grandpa Santos. He was before that married somebody. Yeah.
Okay. And then did your parents have any siblings? Heriberto and Orbelina?
Oh yes. Okay, and those are still alive. My mom is the first one that passed away from that clan. My mom was the oldest. So my mom had the siblings are still alive. So my mom had Elio Maradiaga, and he should be hitting 80 now, because my mom died at 84. So he should be 80. It should be, is he the oldest? Did he follow? I don't remember the order now, because we have. Okay, let's put it this order. I think it's the sister. I think my mom was first, and then Raimunda Maradiaga. So my mom died at 80. My mom should have been 85. This past February, she had turned 85. She turned 84, and she passed away in March. So this past February, my mom would have been 85. So my tia Raimunda, she is 83 right now. So Elio is the next one. Elio is 81. Elio Maradiaga. And then we have Rafael Maradiaga. Rafael Maradiaga, he is hitting 80. I think he's going to be 80 this October. So he's 79 right now.
Okay.
And then we have the last one, the youngest one is Claudina, like my grandma, great grandma,
Mm-hmm.
Claudina Maradiaga. She is 77.
Okay. And then your father, did he have any siblings?
Yes.
Heriberto?
Yeah, my dad, Heriberto Ramiro, they were 8 in total.
Okay.
So, my first, and the order, I remember the order of those ones. So the oldest uncle from my dad's side. So Gregorio Ardon. So it was Gregorio,
Mm-hmm.
then, okay, who were the oldest and the sisters? I would put the Ernestina first. I think the Ernestina,
Like Ernest.
yeah, Ernest, right? Yeah, Ernestina was the second. Then another one that was called Claudina. Claudina, Tiacanda, Claudina was the third. Claudina Ardon.
Mm-hmm.
Then my dad came in fourth place. So my
Like
dad
losing
was
the
the
race.
fourth. Yeah. So Gregorio, Ernestina, Claudina, Heriberto Ramiro, and then at that time my dad, my grandpa, grandpa Santos Pablo named his fifth child Santos Pablo. Santos Pablo.
Santos
So it
Pablo
was,
Ardon.
yeah,
Santos
Santos
Pablo
Pablo
Ardon.
Ardon. Those were Ardon, because yeah, Ardon. So Gregorio, Ernestina, uh,
Odina.
Claudina, Heriberto Ramiro, my dad, Santos Pablo,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then the Santos Pablo is 5, right?
Mm-hmm. You said there was
So
8 of them.
yeah, Santos Pablo, and then the next one, David,
So just like David.
David, yeah, was it? Yeah, David, like David,
Is there an
David.
accent on that I to make that
No,
sound?
no accents in there. David Ardon,
Okay.
David Ardon. Then Antonio Ardon,
Mm-hmm.
he's still alive. Antonio Ardon, he should be 85. Antonio Ardon. Then the last one that he died from cancer many years ago, Alfredo. He was the youngest. Alfredo Ardon.
Just like the pasta.
Say it again?
Just like the pasta. Alfredo pasta.
Yes, Alfredo Pasta. Right. So Alfredo,
Do you know how old he was when he died?
no,
Or do you at
no.
least know when he died?
He died before my dad. And my dad died in 2014. And I think he died a year before him. Either a year before or two, because my dad went to that funeral. And I remember myself going down there and my dad telling me being in that funeral, his youngest brother. So he
Must have been
had
hard for
died
him.
either 2012, 2013.
Okay. And then all the other siblings are still alive right now?
No, the only one alive is Antonio.
Okay. Do you know
And
how old
then,
the others were or like when they died?
no,
No? Okay.
no, because let's see. No, I can ask a brother and send me the dates, and then I can send those to you.
Yeah.
He will
That'd be
remember. My younger brother, Carlos, my younger brother, he will remember, because he's like my dad. My dad knew, well, like when everybody's birthday was, when something happened. Same thing with my mom. I'm not very good with dates, but my Carlos, my brother, my younger, next to me,
mhm.
he can send me in WhatsApp all that information.
Yeah, because I would love to build
Dates.
as comprehensive of a family tree for you as I could, and it would be best if I could have all their like birthdays and death dates and how old they were and all that kind of thing. If you have records of that somewhere, or one of your siblings does in Honduras.
Yeah, Carlos would know. Um, I can ask him that we need that information. We can,
Okay,
we
and
can put
then
it together. How old they are, how old they were when they died. Yeah.
And
If you
then
want it more specific on my dad, when and from both sides, he can tell me the ages exactly of the one. From my mom's side, the siblings are all of them are alive right now. So Elio, Munda, Raimunda, Elio, Rafael, Claudina, there's four of them.
they're all alive.
They're still alive on my mom's side, the siblings. For my dad's side, it's only one, Antonio, the one alive right now, and he is
85, you said?
85. Yeah, because they were close to my mom's age. They always joke like when my mom was alive. When my dad started dating uh, my mom was like 17, and Antonio was that age, and or a year younger, and my dad would send notes written to my mom, and Antonio was the one who would deliver these notes because he was a kid,
Hmm.
well, a young teenager.
Little love notes.
So they always grew up teasing each other. My mom and Tio Antonio, they were always calling each other's names, and making fun of each other. Tio Antonio would be the one who I think he made up stories, tell a funny story about my mom and my dad dating, and then we would tell my mom that we heard it, and then my mom was like, Antonio mentiroso, he's just telling lies. So they were close. That's what I'm guessing, that he's 85 because they were close to that age. But I don't know the others really.
Okay. And then for your own siblings, can you give me their names? Just
Yes.
all
So
13 of you?
yeah, 13. So yeah, including my sister that passed away. Okay, so we have Manuel. That Manuel is 70 years old. He lives very well. He has a nice he has a nice home in Tegucigalpa, Capital City. So Manuel is 70.
Hmm.
My sister who passed away, Lucia Ardon.
Hmm.
Um,
She died in
okay,
1995.
so 63, yeah, 1995. So my older brother she was born in 1960. That's the way I remember it.
Okay.
And she was born in 1960,
Which
and
would have made her 45.
right when she passed away.
Yeah. And so she'd be like 75, 76-ish right now.
No, no, for 1960, that would not be, she would be 66, 67, right? Because I am in 63 and I'm 63.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, yeah, no, she's not. So
So
my
she,
older
yeah,
brother was in
she'd be
60.
66. Sorry, I'm an English
Right,
major. I am bad at math.
yeah. So she would have been 66. She was still alive because she and my brother, like, they were not quite 2 years apart. Like, she would turn 67. Uh, okay, let's see. My brother, I'll be 63 in September. My brother would be 65. My sister, she would be turning 67 this May.
Okay.
And then right in 2 months, May, June, July, August, September, and for a month, my brother will, like, she was only like 20 or 21 months older than my brother, not quite 2 years. But with my brother, we are almost 2 years, just 1 week over. Like my brother would turn 65 in September 2nd, and I would be 63 in September 9th.
Hmm.
So 2 years and a week difference. But he and my sister was about 20 or 21 months older.
Okay.
So
And
if
then,
he turned 65 in September, my sister would have been 67 this May.
okay. And then, so what was that third sibling's name? I have Manuel,
Okay,
Lucia, and then,
so yeah. So Manuel, because he was the first, my dad had a child with a different women. So
mhm,
his last name is Sanchez. It's Manuel Sanchez. And
okay.
then And then Lucia is next. Lucia is Ardon. Lucia Ardon. And then Roger is my older brother. Roger Ardon.
Like just like Roger.
Yeah, they can be Roger. Yeah, Roger Ardon. And then it's myself. Ramiro Heriberto Ardon. Ramiro Ardon. That would be, I'll be number 4, right?
See.
And then Carlos Ardon. That's the one that next to me. Now, in Carlos, in between Carlos and I, there was a miscarriage. My mom was pregnant, but she lost a baby. So Carlos and I are like 3 years apart.
Those are always hard.
Yeah, I turned 63, more than 3 years. I turned 63 in September 9th. He would turn 60 in December.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So your birthday is 9/9/63.
Yeah.
And his is 12 something 60.
66.
66. Yeah, because he's younger than you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then child number 6.
So after me, okay, so and then we have Carlos, after Carlos, Edgardo, like Edgar, with a D, Edgardo.
Edgardo. So Edgardo.
Yes. So you Edgar and then a D and O at the end. Edgardo Ardon. So next to Carlos, they are like a little bit more 2 years apart, because Carlos turned 6 in December and Edgardo is in March. He just turned 57
this year,
just a few weeks ago. March 13th, I think he turned 57. And after that is Douglas. So Douglas, he would be turning 55 right now in May 2nd, May 3rd, May 4th, one of those. He will be turning 55. And then after Douglas is somebody with a funny name. My dad heard this name and he misspelled it, but he spelled it with a Y. Y-U-N-I-C. Junic.
Repeat por favor, the spelling.
Yes, it's spelled as Y U N I C. Unique. But my dad
That's
was
a unique name.
Yeah, it's a unique name for Junic. So, and he pronounced it with a Y-U, Jew, like Joe, but Jew. Like that. That's normally the people also spell Julia. Julia, spelled with a J in English, but in Espanol, many people spell it with a Y-U. Julia instead of Julia.
And then how old is Unique? Do you know?
Unique should be turning Unique, and this is a very unique situation. Those are exactly 2 years apart. They turn, Douglas would be 55 and Unique would be 53. Same day.
Okay.
They exactly 2 years apart. Those, my dad and my mom were very accurate with them. I just say the way it happened, that the birth happened at the same. Okay, Douglas was turning 2 when Unique was born. So they're exactly 2 years apart. So he'd be turning 53.
And then child number 9.
Child number 9 is a girl. That again, I think my mom had another miscarriage there. Just and then that would be Mayra. Mayra should be turning 50 this December.
And how do you spell her name?
Mayra. So spell Mayra.
And she said, you said 50 this year?
She is gonna be turning. Did she already turn 50? But she is going to be turning 50. I think she already turned 50 in December. She turned 50 in December. So she might be born in 76, right? Yeah, she was born in 76. Yeah, because Douglas was born in 72. Junick was born in 74. No, and then no, there was no difference. So it's 2 years of. Ugh. Mayra, see, I remember them sending pictures. And her birthday was in December, this past December, and she turned 50.
Okay.
So she was born in 76. Yeah,
Okay. And then 10.
76. And then the next one is Mary, Mery, like Mary. My dad misspelled it like you still Maria,
Mm-hmm.
but like Mary, like the Virgin Mary, but he spelled it with an E.
Mm-hmm.
Mery.
Mm-hmm.
Mary. Mary's next to Mayra, so she was in 78. Yeah. I'm confused with the years they were born. It's so many.
How many? And then
But
we've only got 3 more, Profe. You got it. You can do it.
but those are 2 years apart. So Mayra might have been in 76 and she might have been in 78. Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Because when I went back to school to finish, it went in 79. Mary was already, she was already, so I had been 78. Yeah. Okay. And then after Mary
Mm-hmm.
is Eric. Eric.
So like just like Eric, or is
Yeah,
it
like
spelled differently?
Eric. I think he's just like Eric. I think it's Erick.
Okay.
Eric Ardon.
And he is like, what was
Okay,
his birthday?
so Eric was born in 1980. Because I was finishing my elementary school, those 2 years that my dad sent me back. And I remember that he was born, and one time going back from Santa Maria to Cerro Colorado to meet him, he was just a baby. So either 80 or 81, one of those 2 years he was born.
Okay. And
Yeah,
then
one of
12.
those, 80 or 81.
And then 12.
Okay, and then the next one, Dr. Eric is Cecibel. Cecibel is
Spell that for
S
me,
E
please.
S S E S
Mhm.
I B E L. Cecibel. Cecibel was born when I was already in high school, finishing my high school. I was like 20, 21,
So like 83, 84.
83, somewhere there.
Okay.
83.
And then your last sibling.
And the last one, I don't know why that big distance between my last one. He's the one that I've sent him to school. He finished, he's an engineer. He was born the year that I came here in the United States to study in 1988. But there is a big
Wow.
gap between him and Cecibel. I don't know why.
Maybe your mother was just getting a little old.
Yeah, she was 45, anything between 45 and 50 at that time when
It's risky to have kids that old.
very risky. I remember my dad brought her. I was already, that's the year so I finished high school in 87. So he was born in May of 88. He was only 2 months old when I flew to the United States the first time to study. I remember my dad bringing my mom and leaving her in the Lee because the pregnancy was very risky. She still, she didn't want to go to the hospital, but she ended up in the hospital though. She was, my dad brought her and then find a maid. What did they call the one to deliver babies?
Um,
Um, midwife.
Midwife. Yeah.
I and I remember she was not with us when I was leaving, but with that lady. And I will come to work and go and see my mom there, and then but she was with that lady, just in case she needed to go to the hospital. And then
What was his name? That last child. You didn't
you're
give me
like,
a
oh,
name.
oh yeah, I'm going over telling you more about him. Byron. Byron is I wanted him by then. I was my dad picked the name and I said, but spell it with a Y, but they didn't. So they spell it with BAI. So the Y was transformed into AI. Byron, RON. They dropped the Y and inserted in the AI.
That's funny.
Byron. So Byron was 88. Byron would be 40, then 28. He's 38.
He's 38 right now.
He's 38, right? He'll be 38 this May. So that means 38 years ago is when I first came to the US.
Wow.
Yeah. And that year that I came, he was just a little baby. Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm almost a little afraid to ask. Do you have any cousins, or did your parents have any cousins that you know of?
Then we won't go that far because then there is no way I can tell you the how much is
Is this too big?
500.
I mean, yeah, if because you told me that each of your parents had like your father had 6 siblings or
Yeah.
7 siblings, and then your mother had 4, and if each of them had as many kids as they did, then
Yeah.
that's a lot of people.
Well, just one of that I don't even know them. My mom's Tio Elio, that's still alive. He and his wife died, Tia Ines. My Tio Elio's wife died about 5 years ago. 5 years ago. They have another set of 13 kids. Just
Oh,
those.
wow.
Yeah. Just like my mom had that many. Tio Elio had that many. Tio Rafa had like 6 or 8. Raimunda has another set of 6 or 8. Then Tia Claudina, who's still alive, she had another set of 6 or 8, probably. Right, from that side. And then imagine from my dad's
Wow.
side. So I would not tell the
Imposible.
impossible. We have family reunions. There was my initiative, but the year before my dad passed away, we had that idea, and then he passed away in 2014. But actually, that year that I was down there, I finished my master's degree. I graduated with my master's degree in 2014. Get my diploma for Spanish, the second. And then I remember the day of my graduation, getting to the diploma. I was driving here to Tyler, coming to see my grandkids. My brother Carlos called me that my dad had been not feeling well. He had been at the hospital. And then he said, and we are here at the hospital. So they put me on the phone, and that was May. And then I said, okay, in a month I will come down. So I graduated in May from Texas A&M Commerce for my second master's. I taught summer school. And then as soon as I was done, I normally used to teach my summer school. My summer school will be done by the July 10th. And I will buy my ticket to fly to Honduras between the 10th and the 15th July. And I will go and spend 2 weeks. So I was leaving in 2014, August the 2nd, August 3rd, something like that. And then my dad passed away that day. I was going to leave on a Sunday, and he passed away on a Saturday, August 2nd in 2014. And, so that during that time that I was down there, we started having a conversation that we're going to have a first family reunion from my mom's side, not from my dad's side. So it didn't happen in 2014 because he died. That was that trip that I had that summer. We planned. So next summer we're gonna have it. And sure enough, we had it next summer when I went in July without my dad because he had passed away the summer before. Those family reunions were with 70, 200, 250 people,
And they're all blood
all for my
relations.
mom's side,
All blood relations, and then their wives
all
and kids.
related. By then, we had the cousins, for having children, those children having children. So we would count, we would plan, and then from here, I would be talking with my brother Carlos and one of my cousins, from my mom's side. Okay, let's plan it. How much money are we gonna put? And then, so
are we gonna do it?
give an estimate. It's gonna be about $500, a lunch. It's gonna take anything between $500 and $700, or between 500 and I think we used to spend like $1,000 rounded, something like that. Also, we're collecting money. Okay. So I will send you $500 just for that, and then you guys take care of the rest. And then you'll send it to my cousin, like, here $500, and then you guys plan. And then from my mom and my dad's side, we will be around 70 of us, just from my mom's and my dad's side.
Wow.
70 members. So those family we planned 3, and 2020 something happened because we didn't go for pandemic time.
Mm-hmm.
Summer 2020, that's the first summer that I didn't go, for many summers that I used to go. And after that, my Tio Elio, that wasn't my Tio Elio's house. My Tio Elio's wife, Tia Inez, was ill. She was ill from before, but she was getting worse. And then 2020, 2021, I didn't go. 2022, I think it's when she passed away. Then we haven't had anyone yet, because since that was the house where we're having the family reunions, my cousins are still kind of sentimental. So this summer, right now, this July, tentatively, we were thinking about having it again. But since my mom passed away, I don't think I'm going this July. Since I only had siblings now, I don't have my mom, so I don't feel like I had the obligation to go. So I think I'm gonna take another summer break, because when my mom passed away in last year, in 2025, in 2024, I went twice. I went in May and I went in November, because we knew by then she was really ill. The days were almost counted. We never told her, but she lasted until February of 2025. So in the summer, I didn't go because I had just passed away, and I've been the year before twice. And this coming summer, I should be going, but we haven't planned anything yet, and
Maybe
there are
not.
other things.
Yeah, maybe.
There are other
not.
things to take care. And there's no for me to go, and I'm helping my brothers with little things with kids, people getting ill. So my money is more useful for them to go to the doctor. And so
Go
I
to
said to them, I
school
said,
and all that
we
stuff.
are in communication every day. Instead of me going, I would rather help you guys to take care of medical issues. So no, the question was for the cousins. I will be confused completely. I had no idea how many are now with all of this.
Okay. And
Yeah,
then I think even just your nieces and nephews and then their kids would be quite a large amount. So
right.
I think we'll stick here for the family tree, because we have great grandparents, grandparents, your parents, you and your siblings, your parents' siblings, your grandparents' siblings that you know of, and then estimates on some cousins on your mother's side. Do you at least have like number estimates for your cousins on your father's side?
Okay, so let me see. Let's go back. Uh, so my older, going to in the order, right? Gregorio, estimate 8 kids. So that would be 8 right there. Ernestina had only 4. Claudina also had 4. And then my dad had
13.
my dad had 13. All right. Then the next, my uncle Santos Pablo, I got lost in him, but I would say 6. estimate of 6, and Pablo.
Estimate.
And then after Pablo, we say
David.
David. David 6. Okay, David 6. And then after David, we had Antonio, right? Antonio, the one I remember is 2, 4, 3 boys. 3 boys and 3 girls. 3 boys, 3 girls. Yeah, 3 boys and 3 girls. 3 boys
So 6
and
as well.
4 girls, 7 because he had 7 girls, 7. Antonio 7. And then after Antonio is
Alfredo,
right? I got lost in that one. I think he had 10.
and he died pretty young too. So
And he died young, but I remember him having and I don't remember those cousins. I remember only the first 2 or 3.
But he had about 10 kids.
But he had at least 10.
Yeah, and he was only like 45 when he died, based on the numbers you gave me.
Yeah.
So he was having a kid like every year.
Yeah.
Um,
So that would give us what if we estimate?
So if we do upper bound on the because you said 6 to 8 for most of your parents' siblings, so
Right.
if we do the upper bound of that, so 8 for Raymunda, the confirmed 13 for Elio, the upper estimate of 8 for Raphael, the upper estimate of 8 for Claudina. That's 37 cousins on that side.
Yeah.
And then 8 for Gregorio.
Yeah. See, I would estimate 50 from my dad's side and 40 from the other side. So a rough number of 90.
8 from Gregorio, 4 from Ernestina, 4 from Claudina, estimate of 6 from Santos, 6 from David, 7 from Antonio, and estimate of 10 from Alfredo is 45 on your father's side your for your cousins on his side.
Yeah,
And
but
then,
chances are that those men also they had other children from outside the marriages,
so yeah, at least 82 cousins.
See, at least 82. I would say that for my both families is a rough number of 90. Is a rough number of 90 cousins. And some that I don't know. Because you disperse. One that I came, I was 18 when I turned 19 the year that 92 when I came to Danli, to the city, to go to high school. And I never went back to that area. So I will go sometimes there, and then I will see new kids, and this is whose kids is this one? And what's his name?
Yeah, they just appear sometimes. My family tree is pretty big too, and it's
Yeah.
way smaller than yours, but still pretty large, and it's growing all the time.
Yeah. So it's good. So yeah, that would be close, very close cousins. I would be a rough number of 90, I would say. 40 on one side, 50 on the other side.
And then I wanted to ask, what do your siblings do for work and your parents? I'm not going to ask about the other people. That's just too many, but
Yeah.
so I know your father was a farmer with you.
Yeah. That's right. So I still have 3 of them, 4 of them, counting my sister Cecibel, they're still in the land where my mom inherited from my dad, my dad's land, right? My mom's and dad's land. 4 of them are living. They are the one living there in the land. So they're farmers.
So Cecibel, and who are the other 3? Do you know?
Roger, Eric, Unic.
Eric, Unic.
Yeah, there are 4 of them still in the
farm parents' land.
Those are parents' land. Now, Carlos, my brother, my younger, I also helped him when I came to the knee and I helped him. He finished his degree. He had just his high school degree, and he worked for a bank corporation for years. And then he was bought out. And then now he does he worked for somebody who has a little, he's a realtor, the guy, his best friend, Alexis. and they're developing land. So my younger brother, he was very smart. Carlos is very, very smart. He has some background in accounting. So
So
this
like
friend has hired him as to help him, oversee the development. They sell lots, and then they go through the banks, and then these people they make payments. They're
so
making
like a
payments.
real estate development
Real estate
accounting.
development company. He is like an assistant.
Yeah, and he does the accounting and stuff.
Yeah, he does on accounting. Edgardo also, I help him to go to school. He also finished a degree in accounting, and for years he worked for a bakery, and he used his accounting skills, to buy the raw materials.
Mm-hmm.
He also got bought out, got his money back, and now he works on his own. He does things. He's a carpenter. He's a handyman. He's so smart. He can build anything, like somebody said,
And then he
okay,
uses his accounting skills to keep his
yeah.
business afloat.
He did that accounting for a little, and now he just has bought little tools, and outside his house, people would come to his house and say, "Hey, Don Edgardo, can you build us for us a chair and a table and then we want this kind of design?" And he builds those, and he shows pictures, and then he builds the thing. Or people would hire him and say, "Hey, my file cabinet is not working, or my kitchen, cabinet is broken. Can you come and fix it?" So he does the kind of thing, and he keeps himself pretty busy doing that kind of work.
And then, do you know what Manuel did?
Manuel is a retired. He worked for a bank corporation. He also finished his high school. At that time, he finished his high school in 1982, the year that I was starting mine. He worked for a big national bank, and he's been retired for the last 10, 15 years. He was retired in the early age. He was retired before, like me, before he turned 60.
Okay. And
So he
then,
just leave with a pension.
do you know what Lucia did before she died?
No, she never, because she was kind of ill. She suffered from epilepsy, and that's what she died for. She was just like your mom, just working at home.
So disabled, stay-at-home
This
worker.
disabled stay at home, and she had a child. The child, we help him. You know, Franklin, he's in his early 30s. I think he just turned 30. So I had that nephew from my sister's side, and he works for a factory, but he's just my nephew. So my sister was just no, she never finished elementary school. And
Okay.
then Douglas worked for what is called the city mayor. What is the city place?
The city government, municipal government, I think it's
The
called.
municipal government. Yeah, he works in the he just worked with the municipal. Yeah, they have him doing anything. He couldn't finish high school. He tried, but he didn't. He was not able to complete it.
So just like clerical work,
Yeah,
running
clerical work.
errands, the kind
Like
of
he
stuff.
working. If the street needs to be clean, or a plant needs to be water, he just works
Oh,
clerical
so
work. Yeah.
like maintenance for the
Maintenance. Yeah, yeah. Now Byron, the one who is an engineer, he worked for a big process company. They get oil. Like the palm oil. So in the
So
north,
like industrial farming.
industrial farming, like it could be industrial farming. He's like an industrial engineer, kind of that. Agriculture, I don't know. It's a very weird engineering program that he went into at the National University, but it's like processing, like quality, when the big let me give you an example here, like let's pretend here, well, like in California and Florida, we have big orange
Mhm,
farms, and then you process
mhm.
those produce from
And they use machines to sort the bad
yeah,
ones
machine,
and
and then quality. And so he's an engineer to directing people, and then they check that it's properly packaging, and then they check the quality, the weight, and everything, and then it's exported.
so quality assurance engineering then
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, yeah. He has a pretty good job. He's with his helmet, and the company has assigned him like a vehicle, and he goes to the um, plant, checking that the workers are doing the right thing. He's a supervisor there, basically, a manager.
Mhm. And then Myra and Medi, I
Okay,
think, are
so
the last two.
yes, Mayra is a dresser, the hairstylist. Is that it? The way we
Yeah,
say it?
hairstylist, hairdresser.
Yeah. And Mary married young. She married a teacher, a guy who I knew very well. He was older than me, and he was the one of those people who went through school, started teaching, just finishing sixth grade, and he would go on during the weekends to get his degree.
Hmm.
And that dude went all the way up to become the principal of the school in Santa Maria.
Oh wow.
But he suffered from liver cancer, and he passed away. I think my sister's husband passed away in 2015 because he wasn't on my dad was. So my dad passed away is when Mario died. Mario died in 2015 or 2016, something like that. So
Hmm.
my sister was just a stay home
Stay
mom.
home mom.
But when he died, the little girl that now she's like 12, 10, 11, 12, one of those, she was just a baby. So my sister collected his pension. So she's still receiving that money from him because the youngest, she's still like in elementary, she's like 12. And then the boy, he is 15 in high school. So she will be still receiving that pension from the deceased husband until those kids are older,
Hmm.
21, I guess.
And then it'll
They,
stop, and then they'll support
yeah,
her.
yeah, they will support her because they are very smart kids. She has 6 kids, and all of them are smart, and all of them are finishing um, degrees. They work. They work. One of them is a nurse. The other one is
Uh,
becoming an architect. So my sister is very successful with her kids,
yeah, that was all 12 of them then, and then you as a teacher,
and yeah, I am a tutor.
and then your mom and dad were both just farmers.
My mom and dad, they were just farmers. My dad worked super hard, we work with animals, clearing the land, processing the sugar cane, processing the coffee.
I guess it would be more appropriate in English at least to call them homesteaders because
Yes,
they went out to unsettled land,
yes,
cleared the land, built a
yes,
house, grew
yes,
crops, raised
yeah,
animals.
yes,
This basically self-supporting, except for like a
yes,
few things they traded or bought.
yes, exactly.
So yeah,
That's what they did.
I guess it's
Yeah,
better to call them homesteaders in English.
yeah, I like that word that you're using. Yes, yeah,
Um, okay, so I think this is quite enough information for me to build you at least a basic family tree. I mean, any further than that, and I would need to be like a professional, person who does that. Um, and I would need to speak to your other relatives and stuff and gather that information. So I think this is quite within the limits of my biography of you. So thank you for digging all these old memories up for me and struggling with these dates. I really enjoy speaking with you about this kind of thing because I love to see how happy you get about your family, and how proud you are of how well they're all doing.
yeah.
Um, and then I guess we'll speak next week on
Tuesday,
your
Tuesday, right?